Like and subscribe right now for more shocking stories about family secrets, betrayal, and surprising truths that will leave you speechless. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our incredible videos. A furious woman stormed into a hospital room and attacked a pregnant wife, screaming about an affair and betrayal. Hospital security arrested her immediately, but during questioning, she revealed information that shocked everyone. She wasn't just angry about her boyfriend's infidelity. She had discovered a devastating family secret about her own father that explained everything about why she was so broken, so angry, and so desperate to hurt someone else. Within hours, that secret would expose corruption, abuse, and lies that had destroyed multiple families and shaped a young woman's destructive behavior in ways nobody could have predicted. Olivia Patterson was 28 years old, beautiful, intelligent, and deeply troubled. She'd spent her entire adult life jumping from one relationship to another, each one ending badly. She had trust issues that seemed to have no explanation. She'd been in therapy since she was 19, but nobody could figure out the root cause of her emotional problems. Olivia grew up in an upper-class family. Her father, Richard Patterson, was a prominent judge in the city. Her mother, Elizabeth, was a respected philanthropist. On the surface, it looked like the perfect family. Olivia went to private schools, had every advantage money could buy, and was raised in a world of privilege and respect. But something was deeply wrong inside Olivia. She had abandonment issues, intense jealousy, obsessive tendencies, and explosive anger. She would become violently angry over small things. She couldn't maintain friendships. She'd had 17 jobs in 10 years because she'd fight with coworkers or managers. Her therapist suspected childhood trauma, but Olivia claimed she had a good childhood. She'd blocked out or repressed whatever hurt her so deeply. 6 months ago, Olivia met a man named Michael at a bar. He was charming, successful, and seemed like everything she'd been looking for. They started dating, and Olivia became completely obsessed with him. She checked his phone, followed him on social media constantly, and needed constant reassurance that he loved her. Michael felt suffocated by her intensity, but he tried to make it work. Then Olivia discovered that Michael had been texting with someone named Rebecca, his wife. Michael had been married the entire time they'd been dating. He'd lied about his entire life. Olivia was devastated, but more than that, she was enraged. The betrayal triggered something deep inside her. She became obsessed with Rebecca, Michael's pregnant wife. Olivia spent weeks tracking Rebecca's movements. She drove past her house. She showed up at her workplace. She sent her threatening emails from anonymous accounts. She was spiraling into a dangerous obsession. Rebecca reported the harassment to the police, but Olivia was careful. Nothing was quite illegal enough to warrant an arrest. She was in a gray area of stalking and harassment that the legal system struggled to address. Then Rebecca went into labor. She was admitted to Mercy Hospital, and Olivia saw her opportunity. On a dark night, Olivia walked into Rebecca's hospital room. Rebecca was alone, 9 months pregnant, in pain, and vulnerable. What happened next was brutal. Olivia screamed at Rebecca, accusing her of knowing about the affair, accusing her of being complicit in the betrayal. She knocked over equipment and threw things. She grabbed a pillow and pressed it toward Rebecca's face, screaming that she ruined everything. Hospital security arrived and arrested Olivia immediately. She was taken to jail, charged with assault, harassment, and endangering a pregnant woman. During her interrogation, Olivia was a complete mess. She cried, she raged, she seemed like a completely unstable person. The detective interviewing her was experienced and compassionate. He asked about her childhood, her family, her mental health history. That's when Olivia revealed something that would change everything. "My father," she said through tears. "My father is Judge Richard Patterson. He's a respected man in this city. Everyone loves him. My mother adores him. Everyone thinks he's perfect." The detective listened carefully. "But he's not perfect," Olivia continued, her voice becoming quieter and more broken. "When I was 12 years old, my father had an affair with the family nanny, Elena. She became pregnant. My father paid her a huge amount of money to have an abortion and sign a non-disclosure agreement. My mother never knew. Nobody knew except me. The detective's eyes widened. This was serious information. How do you know about this? He asked. Olivia explained that she'd overheard a conversation between her father and a lawyer when she was supposed to be asleep. She'd heard him arranging the payment, heard the nanny's name, heard him say he'd take care of it. She'd been processing that knowledge for 16 years, unable to tell anyone, unable to discuss it, unable to heal from knowing that her respected father was a liar, an adulterer, and someone who'd hidden a massive secret. I confronted him about it when I turned 23, Olivia said. I asked him if it was true, and he denied everything. He said I was lying. He said I was making it up for attention. He told me if I ever repeated that story to anyone, he would have me committed to a psychiatric institution. He said nobody would believe me, and that I would be the crazy one. The detective realized he was hearing about child psychological abuse and potentially more serious crimes. Olivia continued, I became obsessed with relationships after that because I couldn't trust anyone. I kept looking for proof that everyone was lying, like my father lied. I looked for betrayal in every relationship. And when I found out about Michael's wife, something in me broke. It was like I was reliving my father's betrayal all over again. She broke down completely, sobbing in the interrogation room. I know what I did was wrong, Olivia said. I'm not trying to excuse it, but I needed you to understand that I'm not just a violent person. I'm a broken person because of what my father did, because of the secret I've been carrying, because of his lies and his threats. The detective took Olivia's information seriously. He reported it to the district attorney. The DA decided to investigate Judge Richard Patterson. Over the next few weeks, investigators interviewed Elena, the former nanny. Elena was now 52 years old and had raised her daughter alone. She confirmed everything Olivia had said. Judge Patterson had paid her $500,000 to have an abortion and sign a document agreeing to never speak about the affair. Elena had kept everything, the agreement, the bank records, emails between Judge Patterson and his lawyer discussing the problem. The investigation expanded. Investigators discovered that Judge Patterson had been having affairs for decades. He'd fathered at least 2 other children out of wedlock that nobody knew about. He'd used his judicial power to suppress information about himself and his behavior. More shockingly, investigators found evidence that Judge Patterson had been using his position to help criminal defendants who had connections to his various affairs. He'd been corrupting the judicial system for personal gain. The scandal exploded when the news broke. Prominent judge accused of corruption, abuse, and multiple affairs was the headline on every local news station. Judge Richard Patterson was arrested. He was charged with corruption and abuse of judicial power, paying someone to conceal a crime, coercion and conspiracy, perjury, lying under oath in previous cases, judicial misconduct, and dozens of other charges. His career ended overnight. His reputation was destroyed. Elizabeth, his wife, filed for divorce immediately and revealed years of his deception and infidelity. Most importantly, he was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. Olivia watched as her father, the man who had threatened her into silence, who had denied her reality, who had shaped her entire emotional dysfunction, faced consequences for his actions. At her own trial, Olivia's mental health history and the trauma from her father's abuse became central to her defense. The judge, a different judge, took all of this into account. While Olivia was still convicted of assault, she received a suspended sentence with the requirement of intensive mental health treatment. She entered a rehabilitation program specifically for people with trauma-related behavioral issues. She began intensive therapy to process the betrayal, lies, and threats she'd suffered from her own father. 2 years later, Olivia had completed her rehabilitation program. She had a new understanding of herself and her trauma. She wasn't excusing her behavior, but she understood where it came from. She wrote a letter to Rebecca, Michael's wife, apologizing for the attack and the stalking. Rebecca, who had grown into a compassionate mother, wrote back and forgave her. She explained that she understood trauma could make people do terrible things, and she hoped Olivia would find healing. That forgiveness was transformative for Olivia. Olivia started working as a peer counselor in the same rehabilitation facility where she'd been treated. She helped other people with trauma-related behavioral issues. She spoke openly about her father's crimes, about the effect of family secrets, and about how childhood trauma can shape entire adult lives. Her story became part of a larger movement about judicial accountability and protecting the public from corrupt judges. New laws were implemented requiring more transparency in judicial conduct and more serious consequences for judicial abuse of power. Elena, the former nanny, received a settlement from the judicial system. She used the money to establish a foundation, helping women who'd been coerced into silence by powerful men. Judge Richard Patterson served his full 7-year sentence. He was released with nothing, no reputation, no career, no respect. His legacy was destroyed. Olivia's therapist published a paper about how family secrets and parental deception can manifest as relationship dysfunction and obsessive behavior in children. The paper was cited in multiple psychology journals and helped other therapists understand similar cases. The profound lesson extends far beyond this single case. Family secrets destroy more than just families. They destroy individuals and can ripple through communities. When powerful people abuse that power to silence others, especially children, the psychological damage is devastating. Olivia wasn't born broken. She was broken by a father's lies, threats, and abuse. But through accountability, truth-telling, and healing, she rebuilt herself into a stronger, more compassionate person. Judge Patterson faced consequences for his actions. Elena found her voice. And Olivia discovered that speaking the truth, even when it's terrifying, is the only path to real healing. Respect must be earned through integrity, not demanded through power. What happens next? This story reveals something profound. The crimes we commit are often rooted in the trauma we've suffered. Olivia attacked Rebecca because she was re-experiencing her father's betrayal. Judge Patterson corrupted the judicial system because he'd never learned accountability. But when truth finally emerges, and people are held accountable, healing becomes possible. Have you ever discovered a family secret that changed how you understood everything? Have you ever realized that someone you respected was living a lie? Like this video and subscribe to our channel for more shocking stories about family secrets, corruption, trauma, and the power of truth. Hit that notification bell right now so you never miss our latest uploads. Comment below. Tell us about a time when you discovered something shocking about someone you trusted, or when you finally spoke a truth you'd been holding inside. Share your story in the comments. Your experience could inspire thousands of people to speak up, seek help, and find healing. Thanks for watching. This story reminds us that truth, no matter how painful, is always more powerful than lies. Family secrets destroy lives, but speaking out and seeking accountability can heal everyone involved. See you in the next video where we'll share another incredible story about hidden truths and surprising redemption.